The key to a perfect pie crust. A flaky, tender pie crust is the foundation of any great pie. The secret lies in using cold ingredients, particularly butter and water, to prevent gluten development and ensure a light texture. The right balance of fat and flour creates the delicate layers that make a crust flaky. Proper mixing and resting are also crucial to avoid a tough crust. When preparing a lattice-topped pie, the dough must be pliable yet firm, making it easier to handle and weave. Using the right fat for flakiness. The type of fat used in a pie crust directly affects its texture. Butter provides flavor and flakiness, while shortening or lard contributes to a tender crust. A combination of both is often ideal, as butter's water content turns to steam, creating pockets of flakiness, while shortening helps maintain structure. Keeping the fat cold prevents it from blending too much with the flour, ensuring distinct layers that result in a crispy, golden brown crust. Mixing the dough without overworking. A common mistake in pie crust preparation is overmixing the dough, which leads to excessive gluten formation and a tough texture. The flour and fat should be gently combined using a pastry cutter or fingertips until the mixture resembles coarse crumbs. When adding water, it's important to drizzle in ice water gradually, stirring lightly with a fork just until the dough holds together. Over-kneading makes the crust chewy instead of crisp and flaky. Chilling the dough for easy rolling. Resting the dough in the refrigerator is essential to relax the gluten, making it easier to roll out without shrinking. The dough should be wrapped tightly in plastic and chilled for at least 1 hour, or overnight for best results. If the dough becomes too stiff after refrigeration, letting it sit at room temperature for 10 to 15 minutes helps soften it slightly while keeping it cold enough to roll out smoothly. Rolling out the dough evenly. Rolling the dough to an even thickness is key to achieving a well-balanced pie crust. A lightly floured surface prevents sticking, while rolling from the center outward ensures an even shape. Rotating the dough quarter turns while rolling prevents uneven thickness. Using a rolling pin with thickness guides or a measuring ruler helps maintain a consistent 1/8 inch thickness, which is ideal for both the bottom crust and lattice strips. Creating a flaky lattice design. A beautiful lattice pie requires strips of dough that are evenly cut and flexible. Using a sharp knife or a pastry cutter, strips are cut about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch wide. The trick to weaving a perfect lattice is to lay half the strips parallel across the pie filling, then carefully fold back alternating strips to create a woven effect. Chilling the strips before weaving makes them easier to handle and prevents tearing. Sealing and crimping the edges properly. Sealing the edges of the lattice prevents the filling from leaking and ensures the crust stays intact. The best way to secure the lattice is to press the strips gently into the bottom crust, trimming any excess and crimping the edges using fingers or a fork. A decorative edge, such as a fluted or braided design, enhances the pie's presentation while ensuring a strong seal that holds up during baking. Brushing with egg wash for a golden finish. For a beautifully golden crust, an egg wash is essential. A beaten egg mixed with a little milk or water is brushed over the lattice using a pastry brush. This creates a shiny, crisp crust with an even golden brown color. Sprinkling a little coarse sugar on top before baking adds a slight crunch and enhances the pie's texture while giving it a professional, bakery-style finish. Baking at the right temperature. Baking at the correct temperature ensures that the crust stays flaky while the filling sets properly. Most pies bake at 375 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 190 to 200 degrees Celsius, allowing the butter to melt gradually, forming steam pockets that create layers. Starting at a higher temperature for the first 15 minutes, then reducing the heat slightly, helps prevent overbrowning while ensuring even cooking. Using a pie shield or foil around the edges prevents burning. Enjoying a perfectly flaky pie. A well-made pie crust with a delicate lattice design is both visually stunning and delicious. By using cold ingredients, gentle handling, and proper chilling, the result is a buttery, crisp, and flaky crust that complements any filling. Whether making a classic apple pie or a seasonal fruit tart, mastering these techniques will ensure a beautifully textured and flavorful dessert every time.